We are, we are, we are, we are, we are, we are Duel Legion. Hey guys, it's LegendThatSicBoy welcoming you to the Duel Legion Network.
So we're starting off the Speedroid deck with 3 card turbo. Literally your field swarmer and tuner. Like, he is your gas, as they would say nowadays, right? You need him to go into majority of the newer Speedroid plays, and he's just broken. Honestly, he's just like a better take Tom Borg. Also with the 3 as we're doing 3 marble machines. And Marble Machine, pretty self-explanatory. He's a hard normal summon once per turn. Once you do normal summon, he locks you into wins. But he does a search for a Speedroid monster to your deck. So really, again, for the gas, especially with this one, you needing a win monster to special summon him. So you just normal summon this, search him, special summon him. You got you a level 5 right there automatically if you go into the link too. Moving forward for the doubles of, we doing 2 red-eye dice. At first, I was doing 1. With the adding of more Speedroid wheels, you might get out 2. So he just helps you, just in case you roll a 2 out, you could bring out 1 and 1. Very simple. Only reason why I use it for 2. And second reason is because he's a level manipulator. So with him and any other Speedroid in the field, you can pretty much get whatever level synchros you want out. So he's really, really good in that aspect. And his level manipulation effect is not a hard once per turn. Yeah, it's not. So definitely it's just effective until the end of the turn. So moving forward with the doubles of, we're doing 2 Dendens. Denden's really great because he is a graveyard effect. So when he's in the graveyard, you can just banish himself, target 1 Speedroid tuner in the graveyard, and special summon it to the field. Really easy. So you just link him off, special summon, or like synchro him off. And then when he sits in graveyard, you could banish him out, bring out another tuner, and go into another summon, basically. So he's just another good extender. And he lives in the graveyard, basically. So moving forward, for the last of the 2s, we're doing 2 Take Tom Borgs. I was going to pump 3, but just trying to keep it in the deck requirements and the limits. I didn't want to break the 50. I was already breaking the 40 card build, so I didn't want to break the 50. So I left them in at 2 just to kind of make the Speedroid engine at 18 for the monsters. So I left them at 2 just for that. But him and the other extenders are like... And then I have other extenders too in here as well. That's why I didn't need to put 3 Tank Tom Borgs in there. But we'll see that as we go along with the video. Alright, so that's for your Speedroid double monsters, the monsters you're running more than one of. For the ones that you're just running one of, we're starting off with Piper. Really good card, special summon and normal summon. You can excavate the top cards off your deck for the number of wind monsters you have on the field. So if you bring her out, like jump her to the graveyard and then bring her out while you have like 3, she counts herself, well, he counts himself. And that'd be 4, so you can excavate 4, then pick 1 to your hand and put the 4 on the bottom in any order you want. So just for a speed aspect, really good. And then he's a 4-star level tuner. Really, really good as well. Just when you want to make Kite Drake, or if you want to bring out like High Speedroid Clear Wing Rider. That's another card besides Crystal Wing he can really go into as well. Moving forward, we're doing 1 Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo just for the bounce effect off of getting Terratop out when you're doing the rubber band shooter, the High Speedroid rubber band shooter. So you just pick these 2, and whether they send Take Tom Borg or Yo-Yo to the graveyard, you're gonna get a Take Tom Borg effect. So if they give you Take Tom Borg, you toss out Yo-Yo, you get to normal summon, so you get Take Tom Borg's effect. Or if they throw out Take Tom Borg, which most likely they'll do, you get Yo-Yo, normal summon Yo-Yo, bring out Take Tom, and it just creates more of a field advantage for you. So it's an easy get out. Doing 1 Ultra Hound. Some people do 2. I stuck it at 1 just for more space. And for second to last of the one-ofs, we're doing Rubber Band Plane, which is really, really good extender. Special summon itself when another monster is special summoned on board. It does lock you into wins, like the majority of the deck does. but you're only summoning one, so it's not really going to be a problem. And then last but not least, for the one of Speedroid monsters, we're doing one Passing Glider. Passing Glider, just to put another body on the board. So using him on the field, like special summon wise, when there's no monsters on the field, when you control no monsters, you can just special summon him, and he's a level 5. And then after that, you can like special summon like your Car Turbo, go into an 8, and go into a Link, or go into your Rubber Band play, go into a Link, or go into, if you have it, a Baron if you get a 5 out. But that just sums up the ones of it. A lot of people usually don't run one Passing Glider. They usually just stick to these 5, or they jump to those 4. Pretty much up to you what you want to do with your singular card engine for the Speedroids, but that's usually mine. I try to incorporate as much as I can in order to help me stave off plays or help me to advance and put more bodies on the board. All right, and that's it for our Speedroid engine. Right now, we're going to go into the extra monsters outside of the Speedroid, but that they still fit in the win category. The reasons why I show you the little tech aspects. I'm still doing Ice Bells. Ice Bells are really good. Basically, she still acts as your Terror Top, but instead of searching for a Speedroid, you would just special summon another wind tuner to the field, which would be your Glass Bell. Then Glass Bell, of course, if we all know the old school tick, goes get Snow Bell. Snow Bell special summons out. So this is basically an easy-ass Crystal Wing. Reason why I run it, it literally does nothing to the deck. Like, all it does is thin it out. This is literally a 4-card engine. This 4-card engine comes out. Usually you're just left with like an Ice Bell as a remainder, which doesn't hurt because every time she'll summon burn when she searches, so burn her for 5. Or you could just special summon her and go into your other wind Speedroid plays and just use her as fodder for your Link summon or your special summon synchros. Really, really good. So this will just get your crystal out way faster. Sometimes in this hand, I'll just grab, like, have one and just special and then crystal. So, and that's great for a start-off board. That's great for a second board. That's great for a first board because you're just restricting their monster effects. So crystal, instant crystal, basically. Continue forward with the topping off the winds. We're doing two Descendant of Gustos. Really good card, especially when incorporated with like emergency teleporter. Great extender. She grabs a wind tuner from the graveyard and special summons it to the field. And that's amazing, whether she's normal summon or special summon. So you activate emergency teleporter, bring her out, then grab a Speedroid tuner, and then you can easily go into synchro that way too as well, or, knock it out. Then for the last 2 of the extending winds, oops, sorry about that. We do one Wandering Griffin and one Quick Draw Synchron. Now, Wandering Griffin, again, just to put body on board, I'm not playing the adventure package, so it's a great addition to the win deck. Like I just special summon in defense mode, he's a 28 here. Then him being a 7-star with me having about 3 1-star monsters in the graveyard, I can easily special summon him off to get Kai Drake or like Stardust, something like that, like an easy 8, just to continue moving and get a better effect out off of a special summon. So it does make sense in that aspect. And like I said, with the 28 defense, sometimes I just need to put a stall piece on the board. Not all the time, but there is sometimes where I need to do that. So Wandering Griffin does that as well. For Quick Draw Synchron, a little bit of a tech aspect for me since I'm not running the Baron de Fleur. I'm running Cavalry. I was pretty much do this like a cheap build. So he's just great with Descendant of Gusto. So when you like Foolish Burial or use this for a dump or discard from a card effect, once you emergency teleporter your Descendant of Gusto, you'll get out your Quick Draw Synchron. Then you can just go into special summoning your dude. And he's just there for protection. Again, budget build, cheap build wise, kind of like fun aspect, but he's a really good card with a really great card effect. Only on your turns can you negate a spell or trap card effect. So let's say you get out your crystal and you get him out and they have like a drowning Mirror Force phase down and you negate their monster effect, but then you go attack, they activate drowning, you could just activate him, negate the drowning, and still go on for game. So just as that, like he's kind of like my clutch hitter So, like, if I need protection for the game hit, like, just in case they got that random one-face card I'm worried about, or if they try to play an impermanence from the hand on my turn, or they just try to do, like, a red reboot, or, like, an evenly match, or anything that trap or magic card, like, even if they're, like, chaining freaking Call by the Grave, I can catch that. So, on my turn, at least, gives me more stopping power before I can go and commit to a game-winning hit. So that's why I run the Quick Draw Synchron. Easy to get out, easy to use, and it allows me to gain an advantage on the board with its end process. So moving on to the Hand Trap package. Let's keep it short and smooth. Hand Trap package is pretty short for this build. It's going to be 2 Effect Veilers, 2 Ash Blossoms, and 1 Skullmeister and 1 DD Crow. I'm still debating on should I put in Nibiru. But that will probably come in a later date. Like, I would side deck 1 just to have it as an option, so to prevent boards from swarming me and, like, catching me with a floodgate. So definitely that. But these one are your primarily what you're going to be using to knock out most of the guys in your facing in your area. All right, moving on to the spell and traps. Just to get the traps out the way, we're going to do them pretty fast because I've run not too many of them. It's going to be 2 impermanences. It's going to be 1 Starlight Road. Don't look at me crazy. There's a reason behind it. 1 Red Reboot and 1 Duplicate. Duplicate, I would run 2 of. I'm still waiting for the second one in the mail. It's really a good card. Helps create advantage on the board. Starlight Road, just to stop their destruction effects when I already have a board. And I do play a Stardust in the extra deck to bring out the Starlight Road. So it makes sense for me. Red Reboot just to catch anything like a skill drain, a soul drain, impermanences, anything I can't necessarily catch that would stop me from facilitating my own plays. And then Duplicate just to continue and flood the board and to allow protection with its effect. And basically all around advantage with Duplicate. So that is the trap card section. Only 5 traps. As going into the spell cards, we're doing 3 Speedroid wheels. We're doing 3 of them. It's an amazing card along with Speedroid Scratch. Basically, your 2 searchers, you discard a card, roll a 6-sided die. Whatever number is rolled, you could bring up to 1 to 2 Speedroid monsters from your deck and special summon them to the field. Really, really good. It's like a even better emergency teleporter. That's why I run the 2 red-eye dice for the Speedroid wheels, because you can catch a 2, so you can bring 2 out. It won't hurt that much, but you can still do it. As long as with the Speedroid Scratch, you drop a Speedroid from your hand, you search a Speedroid from your deck to your hand. Really, really simple, really, really good card. For the ending of the Speedroid package for the spells, we're doing 2 speed recoveries. Basically self-explanatory. Special summon a Speedroid monster from your graveyard. When this card is in your graveyard, you can banish it to return 1 Speedroid monster from your graveyard to your hand. Really simple, really good card. Allows you to get advantage on the board as well, too. For the non-Speedroid spells, we're doing 1 Call by the Grave, of course, for protection against hand traps and other things that live in the graveyard. We're doing 1 Foolish Burial to put things into the graveyard that need to be in the graveyard to extend our plays. We're doing 1 Monster Born to have me as a general source of extension, either from their graveyard or my graveyard. Monster Born is a great card. Sometimes you need it. Most of the times you do need it. Sometimes you don't need it, I should say, right? Then moving on for the last 2 of the spells, I'm doing 2 emergency teleporters to facilitate my Descendant of Daigusto plays. So that is it for the spell and trap cards. That you can increase your psychics, like if you go like virtual world with them, just to get more bodies on the board and make e-teleporter more effective. You can do that. But just remember, it is a win deck. If you're going to be playing that, you got to get win psychics for it to be viable. Because once you get locked into a win summoning condition, and you don't have wins, you're going to snuff yourself out. So proceeding on to the extra deck. Extra deck. All right. So start off with the 1 link monster we do run. I would recommend 2. I'm still even debating getting 2. I might just get 2. Just where you can have a second into it. Like, you really don't go into it the second time, but he can get negated. And when he gets negated, you can still work around him, but your best play is with him. So definitely maybe having 2 just as a backup one to go to might be an option for me and for you as well too. Moving forward, if you want to know his effect, basically when he's link summon, you can banish a wind synchro monster from your extra deck and then choose 2 Speedroid monsters from your main deck that equal the level of this banished synchro monster from that you just banished. Then your opponent, out of those 2 monsters, chooses 1 monster to go to your hand. Then after this effect resolves, you're allowed an additional normal summon through his effect. So that's why him, Terratop, and Yo-Yo go great, because it doesn't matter which one you pick. For their perspective, you still are allowed advantage once you normal summon either one on the board, because they get you a Terratop. So it's perfect sense. As I'm saying, one of is not really bad because you only run the 1 Yo-Yo and the 1 Terratop. But if let's say they blossom this and you can't get it out, or stuff like that, or like they effect veiler it and you just can't get the effect off of it, like, or link it off into the next one and do it again. You know, the only way I see it viable. But that's the only link monster I do run in here. Like, I didn't put my Appaloosa in here because I didn't feel it really needed it, and it gave me some space to work around with a bunch of other stuff. So speaking of Stardust, yeah, we went old school. I threw in a Stardust. I mainly just have it as a backup level 8 and as a hard line direct link to my Starlight Road, like just to negate and give that a purpose and give me an extra body on the board when I'm doing so. But it's mainly so when I already have my board already set up, and I need to allow for some protection, either from a Regeki or a Dark Hole or anything that could do massive destruction. I have Stardust, negate, keep my crystal all safe and all my other monsters there, and I can continue to facilitate plays. Going in no shape of order here, we're doing 1 Juju. Juju's really great, provides itself with enough protection in the Speedroid deck, and it allows a send-off to the graveyard. Not a destruction or target, I send 1 card to the graveyard by banishing 2 cards of the same type and attribute from my graveyard. Really, really good effect. Juju's just broken. I literally only use Pegasus just for like toss out fodder for my rubber band shooter. So I don't really go into the effect. You can go into the effect, but when you're running around with cards like Clearwing Synchro Dragon, and my other 7s are Clearwing Fast Dragon, those are the 2 cards you want. I do predominantly go heavy with the 7s because 1 right there, our High Speedroid Rubber Band Shooter, and then 2, our High Speedroid Clearwing Rider. So Clearwing Rider's great second effect comes because of having level 7 wind synchros. So it's a quick effect tag out. So basically, I can tribute him to special summon 2 level 7 wind synchro monsters from my extra deck with different names. Simple. So let's say I use his effect, roll a 6-sided die, roll like a 4, return 4. They only got 3 cards in their hand, like they're on their field. So I pop the 3 cards, or they try to effect veiler me right after I try to get the card pop. I can easily just tag him out and then bring out 2 level 7s, 1 fast and 1 clear, and now I can still go into attack and get their negation effects going. So it really is a great way. Like, and I still get, like, I won't destroy cards on the field because the effect got triggered off, and I think it was still resolved because I didn't get negated. I just triggered myself off. But I only think it's during your opponent's main phase. Sorry about that. So I would, let's say, summon him, do his destruction effect, bringing back all the cards, the wind monsters from my graveyard into the deck, shuffling again, then targeting the cards to pop. Then I would attack end my turn. If they would, on their turn, if they have anything to, like, let's say they want to change a heart this, I could tag them out, bring out 2 wins. They want a Dark Hole, same thing. You know, anything that they want to do to him, I could just tag him out and bring out more advantage on the board. So that's why High Speedroid Clearwing Rider is amazing for those 2 effects. 1, he gets destruction. 2, he's a shuffle back, so he's basically like a pot of avarice. So instead of drawing, you're activating the effect, shuffling back the wind monsters into your deck, and then destroying cards on the field. Then he gains 500 attack points for each card destroyed on your opponent's side of the field. So he builds himself up to be a bigger attack monster while clearing the board as well. And then main phase, on your opponent's main phase, if they somehow get an out, you can just tag them out and bring out 2 other monsters to kind of like distract their plays. And 2 other monsters you will bring is a fast dragon or a clear wing synchro dragon, just to double down on monster effects on the field. So they can't, like if they already have a field and they're trying to get you out of there, tag them out, boom, negate that one. Now they can't do nothing even more. So it just continues the fuckery, as I should say, right? Moving forward we're doing 2 crystals. One just as a backup, because you can get into it really easy, especially with the whole Ice Bell engine. You can get into one, and then you have a backup one for your Speedroids if you need to. If they do get rid of one, you have the backup one. Kind of the same, just with having the second one of those. Right now, going into, let's just say Speedroids, right? Because I ran into that one. Yep, Speedroids is going to be 1 Kite Drake. I don't know why people are not talking about this a lot more. He only requires a 1 wind machine tuner, and then a non-tuner monster. He's an 8. When you bring him out, you can either destroy all other cards in the field or negate all other face card fields on effect. When he's destroyed within your possession by opponent's card, you can bring a Speedroid from your deck to your hand. Yep, you can bring a Speedroid from your deck to your hand. You can search out. Then he's a 3,000 beater. Easy as hell to bring out. So you bring him out. If he's the only one on board, like if you're doing Rubber Band playing and Car Turbo, you could bring him out, blank the board, and just slap or continue to bring out monsters after that, because that was basically a special summon. So, and then you could just continue and just go for board and like clear your opponent's board and go for game. I mean, all right, moving forward, we're doing the most rinkety jinkety shit in this fucking deck. Cork Shooter is fucking stupid. Like, Cork Shooter is stupid. Just because he's easy as hell to get out, and 2, just because he extends. So if I was playing like Cosmic Blair Dragon, Blizzard Dragon, or whatever that 4,000 win wannabe Stardust beat stick is, if I was playing him with Cork Shooter, it's 1,000 times % more easier to bring him out. Just 1,000 times %, because you synchro summon him, then you activate the second effect. You could bring out, if they're still existing in the graveyard, the 2 monsters that you use to bring him out. You could just special summon him back out. So he has the ability to just create boards. Like he's just an extender. It's fucking stupid. And he's a tuner, and then he brings out another tuner, and he brings out a non-tuner. So then you can just go onto another special summon, let's say a Tecton Borg, and just have another non-tuner there, and you can go into a bigger special summon with your synchro, or you can go into 2 special summons. The choice is yours. You just multiple options. Finishing out the Speedroids, it's gonna be Hagata and a Kendama. Mainly those 2, not like a puzzle or like the Karama whatever blade thingy that attacks twice, because they bring themselves back. So Hagata, when a wind tuner is on the field, special summon himself in the graveyard. This one, Kendama, when there's no monsters on your field, you can special summon once per turn that way. So literally just to facilitate plays, just to put bodies on the board, and just to extend your plays as well, you can go into as well. So you don't really always have to use your normal summon. And then last but not least, my little tech reason, you saw him earlier with the quick draw synchron, is Cavalier de Fleur. Really good card. It is annoying, his special summon requirements, because it has to be that synchron monster, but you can just get it around you can get around it by working with quick draw. And quick draw is really useful in this deck. Wanted to win still as well. It's a 5. It goes perfect with Descendant of Gusto and Emergency Teleporter. So just bing, bang, boom. You just Foolish Burial, your quick draw, Emergency Teleporter, your Descendant. Bring out your quick draw, synchro summon, you have your Cavalier de Fleur. Literally a 1-turn play that doesn't even require you to normal summon again. So you could even bring out your clear wing, go into your crystal, and then go into Cavalier de Fleur with just an Emergency Teleporter and a Foolish Burial. So with just an Emergency Teleporter, a Foolish Burial, and a Ice Bell, you can go into a Crystal Wing and a Cavalier de Fleur with a monster negate and a spell and trap negate on your turn, and respectively your opponent's turn with the monster negates. Really cool, really easy to bring out, and it will protect you on your board for at least your turn. So you can get, if you could probably bring in another monster out, which you should be able to, you got a quick FTK, quick OTK, quick hit for game. But this has been the extra deck, yeah.
Me like, fuck these bitches. What the?